Imagine a world where the very system designed to protect you, hides secrets so dark, they could unravel nations. Where heroes are forced into morally gray areas, and the line between justice and vengeance blurs irrevocably. Today, we dive deep into a thrilling narrative of espionage, betrayal, and the heavy cost of national security. Welcome back, cinematic explorers, to a detailed breakdown of Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit. Thank you for joining us as we dissect every twist, every turn, and every hidden detail you might have missed. Our story opens with Jack Ryan, a former Marine turned CIA analyst, now living a seemingly normal civilian life on Wall Street. He's having a clandestine meeting with his former mentor, Deputy Director James Greer, who wants to pull him back into the field. Greer needs Jack for a simple pickup in Dubai, downplaying its significance. Jack is reluctant, having left the CIA to escape the morally ambiguous world of intelligence. He confesses to Greer he wasn't cut out for all this gray area stuff. Despite his reservations, Greer's persistence, and perhaps a lingering sense of duty, lead Jack to agree. Greer praises Jack, confirming his manipulative but effective approach. The mission is described as merely collecting information from a twitchy MI6 agent named Nigel. To Jack's surprise, his backup is Mike November, a seasoned operative who seems to share Jack's frustration with Greer's methods. November's presence indicates the mission is far from simple, despite Greer's assurances. On the plane, November makes it clear to Jack that with Greer, it's never just meeting a guy. Jack tries to maintain his hedge fund cover, but November quickly dismisses it. In Dubai, Jack attends a trade market conference, giving an impromptu speech about the volatility of old-world standards. November criticizes Jack's honesty, hinting at the political tightrope they walk. Later, Jack and November head out to meet Nigel, as November wryly notes, "Let's go meet a guy." Nigel approaches Jack in a bustling market, but the meeting quickly devolves into chaos. Nigel warns Jack about a tale just before he is killed by an assassin, Yusuf Bajwa. Jack is plunged into a desperate chase and shootout on a boat, killing Bajwa in self-defense. November arrives to extract Jack, telling him he'd already be dead without his intervention. Greer receives a threatening call from Liam Crown, a shadowy figure who warns Greer to return what Nigel took from me. Jack, still reeling from the events, is interrogated by Officer Kathy Marlowe from MI6, who immediately suspects him. Marlowe reveals Jack is the prime suspect in a double homicide. She questions his supposed civilian status and challenges his perception of Greer. Marlowe shows Jack a photograph of a tortured man, claiming Greer trained the men who did this, linking it to a program called Starling. Jack, shocked, realizes Greer had told him absolutely nothing about Starling. Marlowe explains that Starling was a black ops unit, created out of pure rage after September 11th by Greer and Nigel. Greer took the fall for Starling in Karachi, leading to his demotion. She clarifies Nigel's mission wasn't a drop, but a meet, and there was nothing to get from him for Jack. Marlowe forces Jack to work for her, as she seeks answers about Crown and Starling. Back in London, Greer is confronted by Elizabeth Wright, the acting director of the CIA, and Andrew, another high-ranking official. They're dealing with an international incident due to Nigel's death. Greer insists Jack needs to analyze intel recovered from Bajwa. Jack confronts Greer, feeling betrayed that Greer kept him in the dark about Starling and his past. Greer admits he shut it down years ago, after his demotion. He explains that 2 years prior, a former agent, Wilkes, reached out to Nigel after realizing the true scope of Crown's resurrected Starling. Greer lashes out at Jack, accusing him of feigning innocence and lecturing him about the harsh realities of their world. Greer passionately defends Starling's brutal methods, asserting that he is the cost of protecting the world. He challenges Jack's moral compass, admitting he might be jealous of Jack's clear sense of right and wrong. Greer provocatively calls Jack just a fucking analyst if he can't accept the color of that truth. Jack analyzes the recovered drive, which contains surveillance images and schematics related to a planned bombing. He recognizes the target, Tower Bridge in London, a plot he'd helped prevent 20 years ago by the PMN. Greer immediately alerts Wright, telling her, "We have a problem." Greer explains that Crown, a national hero and Victoria Cross recipient, resurrected Starling. He recounts how he interrogated a PMN deputy chief of staff, who suffered a heart attack during the process, leading to the successful prevention of the original bombing. Crown, feeling betrayed, is now sending a message by doing exactly what we trained him to do. Marlowe reveals she bugged Jack's jacket, admitting she didn't trust Greer and was learning about Jack as a fringe benefit. They rush to Tower Bridge to stop the new bombing, but the operation is a diversion. Crown orchestrates an attack on Greer, injuring him and causing chaos. In the melee, Wright is apparently kidnapped by Crown's men, leaving Jack and November reeling. Jack stresses the urgency, "You're looking at the acting director of the CIA, and someone's trying to kill him." Greer, injured but determined, grieves for Wright, stating, "She was the light." He decides nobody inside or out can be trusted and assembles a small, hand-picked team at a remote airfield. Jack realizes Crown planned the entire sequence, from planting the hard drive to knowing Greer's predictable response. They discover Crown is reactivating terrorist groups that Starling had originally shut down, proving his point about the world's vulnerability. Nigel had infiltrated Crown's operation to supply the necessary intel to take Crown down. Jack deduces Crown pivoted his plan after kidnapping Wright, now aiming to install a director who would let him operate freely. Jack and Marlowe return to Nigel's apartment in London, searching for additional intel. Jack discovers Nigel was monitoring Crown's transmissions live through a hidden, pre-internet server. Marlowe reveals Crown called her "blonde ambition" at Trafalgar Square, indicating he had been there. Mike November expresses his belief that killing Crown is the only way this ends. November shares a poignant moment with Greer, emphasizing their bond, "The three of us. The only family we're ever gonna have." Jack locates the source of Crown's network, a server in Dubai. Greer, November, Jack, and Marlowe head back to Dubai, enlisting covert help from Emirati intelligence. Marlowe suggests they cause an incident to bypass legal restrictions and engage Crown's forces. They infiltrate Crown's stronghold, engaging in an intense firefight. Jack successfully connects to and downloads Crown's entire network from the server, just as a grenade detonates. Crown confronts Greer, asking if he's willing to die for this, as Jack creates a diversion. Crown, expecting Greer to sacrifice himself, is surprised when Jack intervenes, taking down Crown's sniper. Greer faces Crown, telling him to go ahead. Do it, offering himself as a sacrifice to protect his country's ideals. In the aftermath, Greer, impressed by Jack's resolve, recommends him to the president to serve as his deputy director. Andrew sarcastically tells Jack he should quit, to which Jack retorts, "So should you." Jack and Marlowe discuss their future, with Jack asking about their loyalties aligning after Marlowe's earlier remark, "Impossible to trust." November playfully teases Jack, reiterating, "Civilian my ass," acknowledging Jack's undeniable return to the field. Jack Ryan, shadow recruit, leaves us with a profound understanding of the compromises made in the name of national security. It's a world where the lines are constantly blurred, and personal sacrifices often go unnoticed. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please hit that like button, share this video with fellow movie buffs, and subscribe for more thrilling content. Let us know in the comments what you thought of Jack Ryan's journey and what other hidden details caught your eye.